the way down the Mississippi in St. Louis, folks are always craving sweet and saucy barbecue.
Along the Mississippi River, you tend to think comfort food. Especially in Missouri, barbecue is the first thing that pops into mind.
That's why Kansas City natives Brenton Brown and Eddie Belter brought their hometown spice and mixed in some Mississippi River magic when they opened Bootleggin Barbecue.
We started this business a couple years ago because what do we like to do?
Eat and drink.
Yes. The Kansas City barbecue that they have here it's almost like an infusion and a mixture of like multiple styles, which is pretty awesome.
So the Mississippi River influences bootlegging barbecue.
It's really a continuation of all the foods, New Orleans, Memphis, and on up.
They brought the rub from KC and the smooth sauciness from St. Louis Jazz in their bebop and brisket sandwich, the Miles Davis.
It's named after famous jazz band Miles Davis, who was born in East St. Louis.
And like one of the trumpeter's famous jams, the Miles Davis is
Savory,
Kind of blue,
crunchy,
a little bit of sweet sauce.
and delicious.
Eddie brings the Kansas City brisket to this jazz fest.
The rub is going to be sweet. It's going to almost glaze. You want to really get these spices in here to create a bark. It's that thin black layer that is a real true hallmark of all barbecue. Sometimes they say it's all bark, no bite, but this has got both.
That bark begins to form in the hickory-powered smoker.
Hickory is king. We use hickory because it is a native wood of Missouri. It really helps give that local flavor to our meats. My sister and my brother-in-law have a bunch of acreage, and one day he told me, I have enough hickory trees to last a lifetime, so we're putting them to that test.
12 hours later, this brisket is barking.
This is bootlegging barbecue brisket. Look at this, it's amazing. Great smoke ring, awesome bark. Juices are flowing like the Mississippi River.
Eddie catches those juices on a toasted bun.
We're just gonna layer these pieces on so that they're totally overlapping the edge.
He adds his homage to Kind of Blue.
Pile that on there with our onion straws. Last but not least, a little drizzle of our house barbecue sauce. That's a Miles Davis. It's all that jazz.
This is incredible. I'm in barbecue heaven. It's sweet, it's hot. It's kind of like me, the crispiest onions I've ever been able to find.
Oh wait, I'm feeling one of those. That's mine now.
This is like sinfully good. Blue cheese on a brisket sandwich. He gives it that extra bonus. Like, okay, this sandwich is already good. Add the blue cheese, and now it's even more flavorful. I'm so happy I picked this.
I think this sandwich is called Miles Davis because it's smooth, just like how he played music. You take a bite and you get the sauce, you get the meat, and then all of a sudden, it's just coated with the cheese afterwards. It's wonderful.
Are you single? Can you marry me? Because if you did this...
Sorry, ladies, Eddie is not single. But that's okay, because you'll need a crowd to share all the delicious pork butt piled on to Penelope's party.
Named after our mascot, our stuffed pig that we have hanging around the bar, Penelope.
Brenton rubs down the roast.
I always like to start on the bottom. You really want to make sure that you do get some flavor in there, and you make it so that you can get into the cracks.
Then sends it to the smoker.
This is going to make the nachos that smoky, that sweetness, have a little bit of that crunch because of the bark. Penelope's party is going to be off the hook. She's ready to party. First step is pulling the pork. Pull the bone out, it just slides right out. Nice clean break. This is some smoky goodness right now. Super juicy in there.
Brenton builds a bed of tortilla chips, but instead of topping them with pinto beans and carne asada, it's baked beans and our pulled pork.
Got that nice crunchy edge on the outside, giving us that great flavor. This is what makes our nachos unlike any other, piled up with pulled pork.
It's not nachos without cheese, cheddar, and mozzarella.
Penelope's party's about to get hot. Gotta hit it with that KC flavor. Classic nacho ingredients now, the diced tomatoes. That looks good. Ain't no party like Penelope's party. Best nachos on the Mississippi River.
I have been all the way up and down the Mississippi, from the upper portions in Minnesota all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico. And this is some of the best nachos that I have had, hands down.
Do you see how tender this meat is? The meat is so tender, and the barbecue sauce is so sweet and tangy. It's amazing.
The main thing to me is the smoked meat. That pork butt is just blowing my mind right now. I'm not sure what type of rub they use, but it is phenomenal.
Everything on the menu is so good, but the nachos are the absolute best. I need more.
Don't worry, there's never a shortage of great barbecue at Bootleggin.
Bootleggin barbecue for the win.